shining as bright as 1,000 suns. The city of New Vegas sits as a beacon of prosperity in a desolate wasteland. While the city promises wealth and a chance at riches untold, it also deals in vice, sins, and treachery. Not just to the patrons that visit its fortified walls, but to the families that call the city home. Treachery and ambition would lead to events that would forever change the face of the Mojave. Among the glitter and glam of the Strip, this dark truth would formulate itself within the walls of the Tops Casino, where only two things matter: wealth and luxury. Dealing in the high-stakes lifestyle of Vegas, where one lucky move could make a man rich beyond his wildest dreams. A man with both the raw ambition and the gall to challenge the rule of Robert House set forth his plan. Cloaked in the stale air of dying cigarettes and the high-octane rush of gambling, Benny would do anything in his power to seat the chairman at the top of Vegas, even if that meant killing anyone who got in his way. Far from the flashing lights and the noise of the Strip, within the clay-faced walls of Red Rock Canyon, the remains of the once feared Great Khans found retreat. These warrior tribals that were once the scourge of the wastes are now nothing but a shadow. Fresh in their minds is the memory of the slaughter at Bitter Springs. A short ways from their canyon shelter, the anger and guilt of Bitter Springs draws one Khan into a chem-fueled stupor. The memory eating up his soul, driving him insane with guilt. Even still, his brothers have taken him with them. In the shadow of the canyon, they await their new employer. Usually Khans would never work for Vegas Caps, but this job wasn't like any others. They weren't asked to kill or maim, only to follow. During their wait, they would draw out a map of the Mojave in order to gain better bearings, placing trinkets to market cities and towns. Their ultimate goal? The insignificant little town of Goodsprings. Riding the dusty trails of the Mojave isn't a task any man is cut for. And especially not a city boy. Except that Benny was the one who was setting their pace. As they trekked tirelessly, rumor began amongst some of the Khans. Benny and his chairman weren't just the chairman of New Vegas. They were tribals, re-educated by House. Only a tribal like the Khans could ride the trails of the Mojave so efficiently. But even they weren't immune from fatigue. As they set up their camp for the night, Benny noticed the Khan that they had brought with them. The man had a look of horror as he stared at Benny. It was Benny's cigarette. The fire. It brought him back to Bitter Springs. The other Khans had tried to assure Benny they could take care of their own. But he wasn't as certain. He knew what happened to people who couldn't let go. Their rest wouldn't last long. As they set up camp close to a tribal village, their rest shattered as the screams of fiend attacking woke them. the Khans noticed that one of their own was missing. He had gone forth to attack the fiends, bitter springs raging in his minds. The fiends had done what the NCR did to his family, and he had lost it. The others rushed to help him, except Benny. He suggested that they let the man die. His idea would not be withheld by the Khans, as they laid waste to the fiends. The fiends, in their chemmed-up state, attacked anything and anyone, but the Khans fought back, eventually being backed by Benny. As the last fiend fell, Benny turned his attention to the man, scolding him for his action, only to be scorned by the rest of the Khans. Even though the Khans won, they suffered losses. Many of their brothers fell, burnt by the fiends. As the night grew, the man that had rushed in, burnt and in pain. He was met by Benny one last time. And when the Khans awoke, the man lay dead. He had overdosed. Benny caught their attention. They were close to Good Springs. Close to the end.
You got what you were after, so pay up.
You're crying in the rain, Pally.
Guess who's waking up over here?
Time to cash out.
Will you get it over with?
Maybe Khans kill people without looking them in the face. But I ain't a fink. Dig? You've made your last delivery, kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
Yippee-yay, there'll be no wedding bells for today. 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 I go riding